You know what's crazy? They did a top 10 most promiscuous countries in the world, right? And listen to this list of countries, and they don't never get no smoke. Australia, Brazil, Greece, Chile, New Zealand, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Thailand, and South Africa. If we supposed to be the ones with the most, why are we not on this list? Why aren't any of the people that they say, oh, this is you ruining through sexual expert, not on the list? I'll put it in. I'll put it in a whatchamacallit so you can look through it.
What was the list, bro?
Most alternate studies of sexuality and promiscuity. Oh, top 10 most promiscuous countries in the world.
Oh, okay.
I think it's because we have the most influence.
That could be it. We got the most influence. Also, I think the reason why a lot of these people can come over here and talk bad about relationships that are from other countries and do well on a platform, I think it's largely because it resonates with people who are going through those experiences. And it's not got necessarily to do with the race. It's just they can relate to what's going on. You get what I'm saying? So
I feel like they did trauma porn. Like a lot of the people who appreciate the fresh and fit content the most be men who might have been turned down by the women that fresh and like the type of women that fresh and fit be talking to. And when they see their ass get shitted on, it kind of like it's porn. They like to enjoy that shit. So whoever, if you got an issue with Black Americans, you want to go see the content where it's like, yeah, let's shit on these Black Americans. Let's XYZ for whatever the issue may be. You know what I'm saying? You whatever that issue is, you want to enjoy content like that, and the algorithm is gonna prioritize that shit.
What about that's absolutely true, Marcus. It'd be the same. It'd be the same dudes that'll go ahead and support their OnlyFans too. They had a woman who went on there, and then her OF absolutely spiked. Like the next week.
Every woman that
like,
go on there
after going there.
Every last one of them that go on there. That's why they go on there. If they weren't benefiting from going on Fresh and Fit shows, they wouldn't go. They know that's why they all go on there, because they know as soon as you leave up off
visibility,
they're all of their OnlyFans spiked.
What about the show we're talking about tonight?
Oh, that's Daily Wrap Up Crew.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what about Kevin Samuel's show? Like, is it because they can resonate with the content? The reason why they can be so successful. Like, if you look at Harley Initiated content, the reason why they're doing so well is because people can resonate with what's going on. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to get any traction, any views, any subscribers, none of that. You have to talk about what's clickable and what's relatable, right?
Well, so let me ask you this. Now, how many people in America actually deal with like gun violence as like say somebody in a like a real inner city? It's not the vast majority of Americans, but a large percentage of that don't deal with that shit, consume that shit by the droves. So I don't necessarily think it's because they relate to it. Like they never been on the drill. They never, you know what I'm saying, have nobody killed in their family. They just watching that shit, and the entertainment value and the salaciousness is high. Like,
yeah, but how did they get to it in the first place?
Man,
you gotta understand these channels and these audiences are growing from zero. Like, how did their content get found by these people in the first place? I think people click on, I would say people click on what's more of what they can relate to versus what they're entertained by.
I mean, who the number one consumer of hip hop in America?
I would say white folks.
Can they relate to that?
Can they relate to hip hop?
Yeah. Or is it entertainment for them?
I think you answered a different question. When I say they consume more of what they relate to versus entertainment, I'm talking about what they relate to, what they're inspired by, what they want to be, or things they want to accomplish. They would click on more of that. So let's say if it's a podcast that's exposing an issue that's going on, and they actually not only exposing it, they following up with a solution of stuff, a solution to the issue. You would probably go and watch that. Even though it's entertainment, I would think you would be more driven by the fact that you're going to go get a problem solved. I would say right now on YouTube, if you starting a channel, I was focused on solving problems before anything.
Entertainment seems to vastly overshadow educational material. Like people,
No, well, I'm not talking about whether it's winning or not. I'm just saying. So for you specifically, when you get on your phone, are you looking to get a laugh out for the most part? If you're gonna sit there for 5 hours, would you rather watch something that you're gonna just laugh at for 5 hours, or would you rather watch something that you can relate to and learn from for 5 hours straight?
I think it's a combination of both, but mostly people just want to be entertained.
I mean, so okay, so maybe it's just me because I can look at some shit, haha, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. Let me get locked in. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
well, in my life, I watch way more entertainment television than I have educational programs, and I watch a lot of educational stuff. But I've watched way more.
Don't just take what you can relate to and just put that in education, because what you can relate to can be, oh, I'm a boxer and I'm watching boxing, or I'm watching somebody train, or I'm watching somebody practice and breathing, you know, so they can be more calm in the ring. Like it. When I say relate to,
think about this
directly intersects with your life.
Think about it like this, Bruiser. Think about the TV shows that have gone viral. You had things like Game of Thrones, the Walking Dead. Ain't none of us ever killed a dragon or seen a zombie in our life, but those are the shows that wind up captivating the entire country, including us. Versus, like most people just want to be entertained.
If you look at our performance and how we're versus the rest of it, you can tell. Just look at social media designed. It's flip, 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 flip. What educational really comes up? Almost nothing in most people's algorithm. That's not what we respond to. Most people spend most of their time being entertained. That's why I try to
say, like, try not to focus on, when I say relatable, try not to focus on relatable, meaning educational. Relatable can be, okay, so I'm dealing with the family court system. So I'm probably going to consume more content related to parenting, child support issues, how to get my custody, you know, what the fuck I'm going to do if I'm in arrears or some shit like that, whatever, versus just laughing at jokes and shit on my Instagram timeline. At some point, I'm like, okay, now it's time to lock in. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to spend most of my time actually locked in on my purpose.
You hyper focus on success. That's a top 10% mentality. Most people don't think like that.
Hold on, Bruce. I get what you're asking. Let me explain it in this way, right? So if you are online, right, and you looked at like the ADOS FBA versus immigrant American thing, right? You would be like, damn. You would see this space and be like, damn, this is how black people feel, right? But when you go outside, while you may see that black people relate, like just think of Chicago, so to speak. Ain't none of the people in Chicago, when they were leading into the election, were using any of the terms that you heard ADOS use. However, the feeling was still the same. They still felt the way and they still moved a certain way as far as where they vote went, but they weren't saying any of the things that you see online. So while we may experience those things, while you can look out into Black America and say, hey, look, I see that y'all have these certain experiences. What we're seeing online is not being led by Black American people, nor is it being consumed by us. Most of them just living their lives. You muted, bro.
Doesn't that shine the light on the issue that because we don't feel like we don't feel like a sense of urgency to actually build platforms and actually control the media, when we don't feel like we can take time out of our life to do that, we leave room for other people that don't have our best interest to go and do it.
That's why I took cable out of my house, for that specific reason. So there was a portion of time when I was in the same mind frame as you, right? Where I'm hyper focused on goal orientation and accomplishing a task, reaching the next plateau. I would wake up and listen to David Goggins, and it was like a 30-minute motivation video. That was the first two things I had to set to my the smart home. So when it'd come right on, that was my alarm clock. I'd be in bed. When Ray Lewis started telling this story, I know I got 15 minutes to get up. Then on the way to go to the buildings, I would have more motivational stuff going. Then I have this, and the third. By the time it was time for me to go home, I really ain't even want no entertainment. I just needed to decompress. So I might just sit in silence or watch a movie in the car while I'm going back to the house. But most people aren't there. That's a very atypical, extreme personality trait that most people don't have, bro. Most people just living their life. They either work their job or they just getting by, and then they wake up every day and they just living. They might drink, they might smoke, they just going to work, coming home, and living. They not thinking about how do I reach successful plateaus, right?
If everybody on this panel, and we all just experienced Thanksgiving, right? We all just went to the family house. All of us do this YouTube shit. All of us are up here regularly. We watch this shit regularly. When you went to your families, when you went to Thanksgiving, was any of this shit a topic of conversation?
No. And I think we talked about that. The reason why it's not a topic of a conversation, because when you come to family groups, first of all, y'all don't get to see each other a lot. So you want to capitalize on that moment. Then, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the shit that's floating around about Uncle Larry or some shit like that, you kind of just want to keep the positive. When the moment y'all motherfuckers get in the car, you see how she was dressing her kids. You see how he had the nerve to bring that bitch up in here, and he ain't even divorced yet. You know what I'm saying? That the conversations they actually want to have.
No, they ain't gonna have it after they leave because they want to keep. What I mean is this gender war thing. Is any of this ever a topic of conversation amongst your family where y'all get in the room together and it's basically a bunch of bitches is this and niggas is this? Or is it just motherfuckers just sitting over there we complain, we talk our shit, we gonna always talk shit.
Listen, Sweeney, the reason why it's not because the conversations are gonna be different. If you go home for Thanksgiving with your mama, who's a single mom, who made poor choices, and all y'all niggas out of wedlock, you be a damn fool to sit up there and talk to the motherfuckers that's steering the goddamn, that's that's making the macaroni cheeses, that she ain't shit, she's a single mom, she was out busting it open with all these niggas. You'd be a fool.
Nah, that's cap. I'm gonna explain how that's cap. So there's this video that went viral, right? I'm about to explain how that's cap. There's this video that went viral, right? And the girl asked her family, who gonna cut up at Thanksgiving today? Who gonna be the one to fuck it up for everybody? And her whole family mentioned his name, the Auntie Lisa. And sure enough, Auntie Lisa cut up, and everybody talk shit about Auntie Lisa. We talk shit about our family members all the time. We be like, hey man, we already know, you know what I mean? Uncle over there drunk than a motherfucker, or like we do talk shit.
I know we do, but let's say your mom and your daddy never worked out and they broke up back in '93 or some shit like that because she was out there busting it open and smoking and drinking and shit and doing burnouts on the big wheels. I mean, not the big wheels.
Where do you get these people for? Like nobody.
I'm just saying. Let's just say hypothetically, you are not gonna go in there. And you know, at the end of the meal, you know, y'all both sitting there, she washing the dishes, you rinsing them all. You know the little movie cliche. Mama, whatever happened to you and Dad? Like, why didn't it work out? You ain't finna bring that shit up at no Thanksgiving holiday, man. You just gonna say your piece and you gonna get the fuck on. Because you don't want your mama feeling like shit on the holidays.
I wanted to talk about that. But what I did talk about this holiday was my grandma voted for Kamala, right? And I told you she damn near tried to pretend like she wasn't gonna speak to me. She got over that shit real fast when she said I was gonna stand my ground. She tried to bully me with it. So I tried not to say nothing to her about it. But you know, Joy Reid told them that people, if they didn't vote for Kamala, then you don't have to be around them for Thanksgiving. Like she kind of put that in their ear. So she called her sister. Her sister called herself cursing me out today about how Trump is gonna put me in slavery and all this other shit. But it didn't happen at the Thanksgiving thing. The conversation of Thanksgiving her sister calling me, telling me I'm gonna be 12 years a slave again because
hey, none of my damn that might be that West Side shit, man. None of my family was calling me on no bullshit.
Sweeney,